So yeah, I think moving on to utility. So you guys, so for me personally, I had to do a lot of research to really understand the impact of lattice cryptography in the context of Varna. It'd be great if you guys could share a little bit more about how lattice cryptography, sorry, excuse me, lattice cryptography interacts with OMG network and the value it really adds to the network.
Well, I'll let Jan cover the lattice cryptography angle, but at a high level, uh, why is it important to like what's the value of privacy preservation in the context of Varna? And first of all, what is Varna? So Varna is a decentralized exchange that we have built. And you might ask, well, there are so many decentralized exchanges out there already. Do we really need another one? And um, for those who've been following what goes on in the realm of decentralized exchanges, they will be familiar with the notion of front running or the existence of dark forest, where without going into the weeds, it's really a phenomenon where because uh, participants of these exchanges are making the wishes known, like to buy a certain cryptocurrency or to swap a certain pair of cryptocurrencies known on a public blockchain, namely Ethereum, um, they are susceptible to their orders being exploited by bots who would then run in front of them to execute a trade and then sell it back to them at a slightly higher value and profit from that. And there are many other different forms of front running as well. And this is only possible because these orders are known to the public and can be exploited. And that's why protecting the privacy of these orders becomes important, because if these bots don't know what you're trying to buy or sell, then they can't front run you. And that's the value that we bring to the industry with Varna, because Varna is a privacy preserving decentralized exchange using lattice cryptography.
And just to provide some color on lattice cryptography. So if you're not familiar with lattice cryptography, you should definitely have a look. And you should have a look because it's one of the few cryptographic techniques that is thought to be quantum resistant. And it is one of those mathematical things that's very easy to do in one direction and exceptionally difficult to do in the other direction. And lattice cryptography matters to us because it is the foundation of something called fully homomorphic encryption, which allows untrusted cloud workers to compute unencrypted data and return encrypted labels that only people with the right lattice cryptographic private keys can decrypt. That's why it's important to us. And that's why lattice cryptography may also be more broadly important to the blockchain space, because it's one of those asymmetric systems that is quantum resistant. So it may be important also for the future of blockchains.
So does this also prevent bot sniping as well as so a lot of the way that these kind of front-running bots operate is that they kind of are tapping into data in the mempool. So even before it hits the chain, they kind of tap in and they can kind of predict what's going to happen and then they kind of front run you like that. So does lattice cryptography also help prevent these kind of circumstances?
Well, so privacy is a really broad topic. If you look at a particular transaction, there are many different things one could try to make private. But in the setting of an exchange, in the specific use case where you're trying to prevent front running, um, it depends on how you're setting up the system. And the way the system is set up in Varna, basically the lattice cryptography and the fully homomorphic encryption addresses the matching problem. It provides a system where two parties with overlapping interests can discover one another without either party disclosing those interests. So for example, John, if you like pistachio ice cream and I like pistachio ice cream as well, Varna instantiates a system where the two of us can discover one another based on our shared characteristic of liking pistachio ice cream. Likewise, if you want to sell something at a particular price and I want to buy the same thing at a particular price, our interests overlap and thus we can get matched. At that point, we can choose to execute our trade through any number of approaches, atomic swap or whatever else. So specifically what Varna addresses is the privacy-preserving matching of two individuals based on shared characteristics that they don't want to divulge.
Great example. Thanks for sharing.
I don't know what ice cream you like, but I'm guessing.
I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit there.
Oh, I was making out the pistachio ice cream, John. I have no idea what ice cream you actually like.
Well, either way, it's a very easy example for me to understand, as I'm sure it is for anyone who doesn't have the kind of technical understanding that you guys have. So to kind of follow up on Varna, can you guys share a little bit about how the development is going and what you guys are most excited about?
Yeah, so the guts of Varna are done, and it's been in private beta for a while now, and we've gotten really great input from the community. So we're going through the phase of UX design to make sure we come up with the best user experience possible, and we have a design team who these designers themselves have been active users of a lot of different DEXs out there, so they certainly understand what our users expect and also what the rest of the industry has been doing in terms of user experience. And yeah, so we expect to be able to unveil that in the next several weeks, and we can't wait to see what the team come up with.
Jan?
Yeah, it was interesting to see how people responded to Varna on a technical level. Lots of people were super excited that it was done and worked. But then when people started to use it, they said, "Oh, I have to click, 38 times to do something." And they took it for granted that the underlying technology worked, which was what the engineers were focusing on. And now's the time, given that the underlying technology is to work, is to deal with really, really important user experience issues, such as, oh, why do I have to do 38 things to execute a basic transaction? This really should be much, much easier. Look at Amazon. They sell stuff for a single click. So now's the time to really make the system super easy to use and just also fun to use and intelligible for people.
And it's to my understanding that the new UI is almost ready. Just for sake of the community, can you share kind of a loose kind of timeline for when you expect the new UI to be rolled out?
Well, we're going to keep iterating on the design for a few more rounds. So I say probably. Oh, my team is going to hate me for making public commitments. But I'd say on the order of weeks is what we're looking at.